This is a Big Blue Crew production.
Hey, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? These nuts. Got it. Got it.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? And yes, we are back with another Giants Interactions. Me and the classified one with Joe. What's going on, Joe?
Not much. Enjoying a nice sunny day here today, watching a little NFL Network, checking out Giants news. There's some news around the NFL we can delve into after this when we get done with this, but all in all, having a pretty good day. Hope you're having the same. Hope everybody out there is having the same.
So me and Joe decided to do this Giants Interactions to, get our point of view out. We're going to talk about a lot of points in this video, so hopefully you guys are tuned in. You ready to hear some Giants banter here with me and Joe, but we want to just talk about the whole Giants situation since the firing of Pat Sherman, that Pat Sherman season, the two Joe Judge seasons. And one of the main reasons why I want to do this is because I don't know if I'm being misconstrued about my views on Daniel Jones and my views about this team going on the past 3 years of what's been happening. But it seems to me that a lot of people are thinking that I'm saying Daniel Jones can be the franchise quarterback of the New York Giants, no question, because of the points that I'm bringing up about it may not be all his fault, the reason why he's not performing the way that you want him to perform. And the question that we're going to get to at the end after we go through our banner is, if Daniel Jones is as bad as you say he is, okay, cool. He proves this season. Me and Joe have said it plenty of times. If he sucks this season, you get rid of him. We're already talking about quarterbacks next year that we can get in the draft.
Right.
So that should tell you that we're not all in on Daniel Jones like you think that we are. But we are people that want to see people get a fair shake. And he hasn't got a fair shake. And we're going to go over his 3 years here with the Giants. But the question that we're going to get to towards the end of this is, what do you want at quarterback? Everybody comes into the chat and tells me how bad Daniel Jones is, this. I question you guys, what type of quarterback could have succeeded these past 3 years?
That's a question that was never answered either, Pat.
What type of quarterback do you believe that would have succeeded here with the New York Giants? With the season after the Pat Sherman season, they fired him and brought in Joe Judge with that Jason Garrett system, with the injuries, with the turmoil that was going on in the locker room, with the GM not being in tune with the team. You saying, oh, Patrick Mahomes is doing this over there. Would Patrick Mahomes be the same quarterback if he played for the Giants the past 3 years? Oh, Joe Burrow's doing this over there in Cincinnati. Would Joe Burrow be doing what he's doing over there in Cincinnati here with New York with the situation that it is here?
But you're talking two quarterbacks that had all his weapons. Now, the offensive line might not have been good, but they had all their weapons the whole year.
Right, the whole year.
The whole year, not just anything. You got to put the quarterback coming to the Giants into what the Giants had that whole season. How is Mahomes going to be the same quarterback throwing to Pettis?
Right.
Is he going to be the same quarterback with Barkley out of the backfield? What tight end would Mahomes have to throw to? Because y'all hated Evan Ingram. I didn't like Evan Ingram. Everybody else was hurt. Rudolph was slow. What would he have? You got to say what he would have on this team that would make him succeed and make us a 500 or better club next year. There's no quarterback that would have done that because there was nothing here. There's no players around on the offense. We're complaining about the offensive line, complaining about the Galladay signing, complaining because Shepard's hurt, complaining because we didn't get Tony out there in week 1. Okay, look, you guys can say that's excuses all you want. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. The guys weren't on the field. Nick Gates goes down, our best lineman at the time. Nick Gates was the best lineman. Andrew Thomas, it was his second year. He goes down. That's a big, big hit. And then Andrew Thomas got hurt. And now we're playing all these guys because the judge tried to bring in people and they retired. Those are all facts. You can't escape that.
Right.
It's not an excuse. It's a fact. Hey, I'm going to sign these 2 guys. Next day they're retired. And we're not the only team that happened to. The Raiders it happened to. I think the Bears it happened to.
Right.
Everybody says that Jameis Winston needed another shot down in Tampa Bay, but then Brady went there. And then you're all hoping for Winston to do something with the Saints because he got a bum deal over there in Tampa Bay, going through 2 coaches. He was having his problems over there. And then he gets booted out. After his first year?
Jameis Winston, I think it was his second or third year.
Well, it's still, he wasn't there very long, but you know what? He got a chance under another coach. All right. And then he's got another chance under another coach. And then he got hurt. You guys like to see those guys get a fair shake. Everyone's saying how Justin Fields is going to get a fair shake up in Chicago. Trey Lance is going to get one in San Francisco. Lawrence down in Jacksonville, y'all are saying he's got absolutely nothing. Then you're all expecting big things from these guys. But because it's DJ's third year into something that was so incompetent, the Giants organization was so incompetent that you guys are just looking for something to complain about, it seems like, because Judge is gone. You don't have Judge anymore. Kettleman's gone. You don't have him anymore.
Nope.
You got a new regime. So what's the next thing you're going to focus on? The quarterback. Go ahead.
And that's the thing that I want to say. That you got to talk about all these other quarterbacks and what they're doing. It's like you're not thinking about if you put him in the same situation as Daniel Jones, they're not bringing the organization where they're at over here to New York. They have to work with what Daniel Jones is working with. Mahomes is not bringing over Tyreek Hill and Jason Kelsey and McCole Harbin, a good offensive line, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Kafka. He's not bringing that over here with him.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
He's bringing himself, and he's going to be getting blocked by Nate Solder,
Sakura, Price,
Sakura, Pert.
Yeah.
Do you guys understand that the Chiefs were under 500 when that offensive line was getting to know each other and learning how to block for each other? They were under 500. Mahomes was he was leading the league in turnovers. He was leading the league in turnovers before that offensive line gelled. And their backfield got healthy again.
Let's talk a little bit about Russell Wilson while we're at it, too. How did he do last year?
Right. He continues to get hurt. You know why? Because he's running for his life every freaking play.
And he had DK, and he had
what's the other guy over there that's very good? I can't think of his name right now. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
He had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett on the field the whole time. Gerald Everett at tight end. And guess what? They still weren't winning games, and they still weren't putting up points. With Russell Wilson, who's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Why'd he go to Denver? Denver's got an offensive line. Plain and simple. Why'd he go?
But if everybody says that Russell Wilson wasn't succeeding over there in Seattle because they didn't keep up the team when they had the Legion of Boom and they let that offensive line go to crap.
Right.
That's fact. That's not an excuse.
Right.
Oh, because it's Russell Wilson. Okay, I got it. But the difference between Russell Wilson and Daniel Jones is Russell Wilson actually got to play with an organization that was good. Daniel Jones never got a chance to play in that. He's been in crap his whole career. And so if we tell you that, hey, man, we just want to see what the kid can do in a situation that's just not in turmoil, we get bashed for it and say that we're making excuses.
Right.
Oh, it's in the film. Dude, you haven't watched real film. You haven't watched real film. I used to do film reviews every week. All 22. And I called every game last season.
Right.
Thank you for Joe for getting me to call the last 4 games when Jake Fromm and them started coming in, because I was ready. I was like, man, I can't take this.
Right. But we made a commitment and we stuck through it. We're not saying that he's the future. But you know what? If he is the future, that's half the battle of becoming a winning organization.
Right.
And it's almost like people are afraid that if we did keep him here, we do get some players around him, we do get a scheme, he could succeed. And you all don't want to see that.
And my question is, why? If you're a New York Giants fan, you should want him to succeed because he's your quarterback.
Right.
You should want him to do well.
And that's why I want him to do well, because he's wearing blue, white, and red, man. I spend money on their equipment, gear, merchandise, cups, shirts, hats, everything, keychains, fobs. If you're in the NY helmet, I'm going to root for you. I didn't like Ingram, but I rooted for him. I could see Gettleman screwing up, but he was the GM. I rooted for him.
Right.
I don't want to fail. Judge, I rooted for him. I did. He was the coach. When I'm a fan of a team, I root for the people on the team, good, bad, or indifferent. And then hopefully we find ways to make the team better and better and better. But 10 years as a losing organization has just turned everybody against each other, it seems like. You know, y'all wanted it blown up. Everybody wanted it blown up this year. It got blown up. But now we didn't re-sign Peppers. Y'all are pissed.
Right. But you wanted everything blown up.
Right.
I'm sorry, Joe.
No, go ahead.
You killed Daniel Jones. Oh, he's not here. He's always hurt. But do you get mad if they don't sign Jabril Peppers, who's been hurt his pretty much his tenure here too? He gets hurt. The dude's coming off a ruptured Achilles and ACL in one play.
Barkley
but you're sad that he leaves.
Jones had a good rookie season, but
right.
It's the turnovers. So he had 7 turnovers last year. Big deal. But he only threw 10 touchdowns. Look who he was throwing to. But that's an excuse.
Yeah, that's the excuse.
Right.
These guys are alive and well running on this field, but that's an excuse. It's documented. Galladay got hurt. Oh, that's an excuse. Tony got hurt. Oh, that's an excuse. Riggs got hurt. Oh, that's an excuse. Evan Ingram is Evan Ingram. Oh, that's an excuse.
But our wide receivers only had 0 touchdowns. Well, they couldn't stay on the damn field, and 2, whenever the ball was at the end zone, they couldn't catch the damn thing. How many touchdowns did Slayton drop?
Right. And then when I turn around and tell you, y'all really got the pocket presence and stuff from me when I was doing the film reviews. I'm the one that pointed that out. I was like, man, this dude's pocket presence has to get a little bit better. Oh, he can't read the field. Where I showed you a couple of plays where, yeah, he didn't read the field the way he was supposed to. But every quarterback does that from time to time. I've seen Tom Brady do it. I did the film review when he played the Washington football team, and he played horrible in that game. And that's when I said when they played us, he was going to be on one. Because I've never seen Tom Brady do that.
Right. Because Tom Brady was missing wide open receivers.
Wide open receivers.
Wide open. Yeah.
some interceptions. I was like, man, that was bad. What was
Right.
he thinking?
Right.
And that whole week, I said, hey, look, yeah, I still think we got a chance to beat Tampa Bay, but Tom gonna be on one when he plays us, because he's not gonna put two performances like that back to back. He's
Right.
not.
Well, how,
But
Pat? Look, I mean,
go
look at
ahead.
when we suggested 2 defensive players in the draft in the first round. We got killed for that one too.
Right.
You know?
And like I said, I if you could tell me what quarterback has not had a bad game at reading the field, you're lying to me. Because you can go on the film and look, even Joe Montana had bad games. Shit, he had bad games against us.
I got 49-3.
Right. One of the best quarterbacks of all time, beloved, 3-time MVP, Brett Favre. I think he still leads the league in interceptions all time.
Right. Right.
How many bad teams did Brett Favre play on with the Packers? like how many bad teams did he play on with the Packers? Maybe one, and that was the very start of his career, and he still had Sterling Sharp.
And he
And
wasn't
then they
wanted in
drafted,
Atlanta.
right.
They traded him.
Name how many seasons Brett Favre played with no weapons. That man went from Sterling Sharp to Robert Brooks to Antonio Freeman to Schrader to Jordy Nelson, Jennings, Donald Driver. His whole career with the Packers.
Yep.
From tight end, he went from Mark Chmura, Bubba Franks, Jermichael Finley. And then Rodgers picked right up after that.
But then people will say, well, Tom Brady never had receivers like that. But you know what? Tom Brady had a scheme and an offensive line and a good running game all the time.
Right.
You knew the Patriots could run the football. Look at the way that offense was running. They had an offensive line, but they never had a $20 million. Well, they had Randy Moss, but that was it.
And Randy Moss wasn't even making $20 million like that, because they got him with a 4th-round pick. They thought he was washed.
Right.
That was the only time Tom Brady really had a weapon like that.
Right. Look what he did.
And guess what? He went all the way to the Super Bowl 18-0 and then lost to us because of a good defense, and we confused them.
Right. Right. And we almost beat them the week before in the last game of the season. We came damn close to beating them.
And that game, our defense wasn't playing as well as they were in the playoffs.
Well,
and we tried to outscore them.
And
they did play pretty well.
I heard that Spags had a setup for him, but he didn't want to show it. So he's like, if we got to play these guys in the Super Bowl, I don't want them to have any tape on what I can do to stop them. Sure shit. He had a plan that stopped that Patriots offense.
Because if he would have shown it, Tom Brady would have studied that whole week. The Super Bowl, he would have found a way to get us.
Yep.
But even the best of the best have bad games.
Right.
But the best of the best, name the teams around them that were this trash. Peyton Manning, name a team with the Colts that was this trash.
His rookie year, maybe?
When he threw the most interceptions for a rookie, I think he threw 28.
Yes.
After that, that's when he had Marshall Faulk that year, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Then they traded Marshall Faulk to the Rams, and guess what? They brought in Edgerrin James.
Yeah. And they had
guess what? From Edgerrin James, he went to Joseph Adai.
Yeah.
Guess what? He had Pollard at tight end, and then he went to Dallas Clark at tight end.
And then he had what's his name at receiver.
Then he had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne for almost his whole career over there.
Yes.
With the Colts. Consistency. Same offensive coordinator the whole time. Consistency.
Right.
This kid, Daniel Jones, has had four offensive coordinators and 3 head coaches in his 3 years here.
Yeah, it'll be his 3rd and his 4th OC. Yeah, you're right.
So he's had to learn 4 systems in 3 years.
And then I brought up in the video yesterday, you know what? Daniel Jones is going to be going up against Wink Martindale's system in the practice. You telling me that's not going to make a difference in reading defenses? You're telling me that that Dabo and Kafka aren't going to be able to understand what they have to do with DJ because if he's getting confused in that, or if he's picking them apart?
Right.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine, Pat? We go in there and it's like all of a sudden first day of practice, whatever, and DJ goes 8 for 9 in practice against Wink Martindale system. I mean, some of these guys are going, their head's going to explode.
Right.
He can't do that. I said he was going to fail. I got to be right. It's what it's boiling down to. People would rather be right and fail than wrong and win. I hate saying that, but it's what it seems like. Because we're not saying Daniel Jones is the truth. We're not saying he's the future. We're not saying he's the next all-star. We're saying I want to see what the damn kid has after 3 years of abuse, neglect, and downright, some of the worst criticism a person could ever take from the media, from the fan base. How many people out there could withstand what DJ's going through right now? Put yourself. They always say walk a mile in another person's shoes. I don't see too many people volunteering to walk in those shoes.
Right. They get bashed the way he gets bashed, get booed on draft day. They go through all that crap that he goes at that organization.
Right.
Go out there and get killed consistently. Killed.
Right.
Because my offensive line can't block. And then everybody has the nerve to get injured and leave me out there by myself, really. The only person that isn't injured is the most inconsistent person on the team, Evan Ingram. And even he gets hurt half the time. Then you bring in a tight end and pay him good money. That's a shell of himself. And he even got hurt.
He was hurt at the beginning of the season.
And every time I ask this question, name the quarterbacks that you think will come over here in the same situation and be what they are with those other teams.
I don't know anybody that
Tom Brady himself would be nowhere near the caliber of quarterback that he is over there with Tampa Bay. Why do you think he chose Tampa Bay? They had one of the best offensive lines of football, the best weapons. This man had Godwin, Evans, O.J. Howard, brought Gronk over with him, Fournette, Jones, Antonio. He brought Antonio Brown over there on top of it.
Right.
Why do you think he did all that? You think he wanted to leave the Patriots to go to a crap organization for what? I'm a winner.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to go to a situation
and he took
that's
a pay
terrible.
Cut because he wanted to win. He took a pay cut. He wanted to win. I'll prove y'all wrong. Here, watch this. Yo, $20 million a year. That works.
You think he would have? You think he was going to leave Bill Belichick to go to the Dolphins at the time? Oh, look. He wanted to get at Bill Belichick so bad. Why didn't he go to the Jets? Why didn't he go to the Jets? I'm quite sure the Jets would have found a way to get Tom Brady there if he said, "Hey, look, I'm going to play for you guys because I want to beat up on Bill Belichick twice a year."
Right.
Why didn't he go to the Jets? Why did he choose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because he was like, "Shit, look at that. Wow, Grunt."
Hey,
man.
And not only that, Patrick, he's like, NFC, the AFC's getting stacked. Yeah, I'll go to the NFC, the easier division.
I'll give you the bet. Why do you think he just came back?
Yeah, because of that. Yes.
He said, "Damn, everybody's going to the AFC.
Right.
Who's over here that can stop me?"
Right.
The Rams, I'll find a way to get the Rams.
Yep.
The Cardinals just proved what they are in the playoffs. The Cowboys, I'll find a way to get them. I'm freaking Tom Brady. The only people out there that I can really see stopping them, if the Buccaneers are on their grind, is the Rams in the NFC. He's already beaten Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers proves that he can't win in the NFC Championship.
I'm just going to say it ain't going to be Green Bay. Yeah.
Who's going to stop him? He might be in the easiest division to date.
Right.
The Panthers don't have a quarterback. The Saints are trying to run it back with Jameis Winston. The Falcons don't have a quarterback.
Right.
He might be going against Malik Willis, Jameis Winston, and Kenny Pickett.
There you go.
Why do you think he came back? I'm with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're one of the best teams in the NFC when I'm on it.
Right.
All we got to worry about is Aaron Donald.
Yep.
If we can nullify him, hey, we might get. I might be celebrating my 8th ring. Because he's going to find a way to get one of those AFC teams because he's that much of a studier. He's just that great of a studier of a team. So he's going to find a way to get them.
And you guys can say, well, they lost the head coach, but you know what? Tom Brady's proven time and again. He knows what he's going to do out there in a game plan.
And I believe that was a PR move.
Todd Bowles is a damn good coach.
Damn good coach. He didn't get a fair shake with the Jets.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Not at all.
And
so
like I said,
say coaching's going to be the problem for Tom Brady because it's not.
I think Bruce Arians, I think that was just a PR move because it was going to come down on Bruce Arians, especially if Antonio Brown keeps pushing the situation. And if he did what he did,
right,
that was going to look bad on the organization. But if you put him in the front office, you can hide him.
Right.
It's not going to be a distraction on the field because it's Todd Bowles as the head coach. So I think that was a PR move. But nobody tells me what this team needed at quarterback these past 3 years. What does this team need at quarterback these past 3 years? Besides being a magician, literally. I can't say this. I don't get how you can say what I'm saying is an excuse. Like, how is that an excuse? How?
Well, Daniel missed 5 games this year. Well, Lamar missed the last 5 games this year. So that took the Ravens out of the playoffs. You know, there was quarterback injuries throughout the whole league. But Daniel's injury prone. Because he missed 2. Yeah. Right. But we're sick and tired. We're sick and tired of signing free agency that are injury. You know, but you know, at the time everybody wanted Galladay.
Right. I'm sick and tired of Daniel Jones getting injured.
We brought up getting rid of Martinez because he tore his ACL, and people killed us for that one because that's a serious injury for a linebacker.
And at the time, if he did not take the pay cut that he did, guess what? He was going to get released.
Right, and then that would have upset everybody. Look when we bring up trading Dexter Lawrence.
What has Dexter Lawrence done that's been so great?
That's what I can't understand. He's a workout warrior. Great. You know what? He can lift a lot of weight. Great. You know, how did he do against the run last year?
If he was so great, why did our run game dip off tremendously when we got rid of Dalvin Tomlinson? Why couldn't he fill that role if he was so great?
Right. Everybody, because Lorenzo Carter had a couple of good games at the end of his last year, people wanted to re-sign him too. Really?
Right.
He got hurt, missed a whole year. Well, only on the cheap. Yeah, okay. Well, why don't you take a job on the cheap?
Right. And then you say, oh, Daniel Jones is hurt way too much. We should get rid of him. He is trash. So when we said that, hey, look, if they can get a good deal for Saquon Barkley, he's pretty much gone. The dude's been hurt the past 3 years. What has he really done since his rookie year?
But he's a playmaker, Pat.
He's exciting.
Yes.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm getting to.
Yes,
you can be trash all you want as long as you're excited.
Right. If you can make that play 70 yards and lose 17-40, yeah, don't matter. Look at that run. Oh, wow, that's great.
Right. The only exciting player that I've seen that did that and was actually successful and they really didn't build around him was Michael Vick. That was the only guy I've seen that could be exciting like that and win on a consistent basis out there in Atlanta. And even he didn't have that much playoff success. Randall Cunningham, same thing. But he can win in the regular season, but when it came to the playoffs,
And that's the funny thing to me too, is everyone says, well, it's a new generation of football. You have, you got to be offensive driven. And then you broke down the tape yesterday where Mike McCarthy, he said it's hard to be an offensive driven football team in
Right.
this league.
That's the reason why I did that video.
Right.
Mike McCarthy came out and said it, and then they misconstrued his words because he's saying, the dude's Marcus Spears said, "Oh, how can you say this is not an offensive driven league?" He didn't say that.
Right.
He said it's hard being an offensive driven team all the dang time.
But I don't see no clout noses on him for saying that, like Joe Judge did when he said there's having problems getting the plays in. Oh my God, look at the fun we get to make now. But then it came out that it really was happening for all 32 teams.
Right.
Did I see any apologetic tweets in that? Hell
Nope.
to the no.
All you saw was more face paint and more clown noses.
Right.
Why? Because it was the thing to do.
Right. Hop
We're
on
bad.
that train, baby.
Yep, we're bad. We need somebody to tear apart.
Right.
But in all honesty, Mike McCarthy is right. In all honesty, he's right. They're one of the most offensive induced teams in the league. You're paying your quarterback one of the top salaries in the league for his position. You're paying the running back one of the top salaries for his position. You're paying the receiver one of the top salaries for his position. All your offensive linemen are being paid tops in their position, and you haven't won one playoff game. And now you lose Randy Gregory. You almost lost DeMarcus Lawrence if you didn't take that restructure. Now you just lost two linemen. Why? Because you're paying Dak Prescott. You lost Amari Cooper. Why? Because you're paying Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
And they haven't won not a damn thing for you. You've had some great regular seasons. Yeah, I guess that's what it's been boiled down to. Everybody's seeing these teams have these great regular seasons, but they don't never win anything in the playoffs. Correct. The Arizona Cardinals, great regular season, went to the playoffs and played like ass.
Yep.
Because when you get to the playoffs, is win or go home. There's no tomorrow in the playoffs. That's why I love the playoffs so much. You just win or go home. You can be 6-30. But if you win that one game, guess what? You're on to the next round and they're going home with their 13-3 record.
I mean, y'all can kill me if you want, but Jimmy Garoppolo got a lot farther in the playoffs than a lot of these quarterbacks that you're talking about and in love with.
Jimmy Garoppolo's been whooping Aaron Rodgers' ass in the playoffs. You know why? Because that team is built for that shit.
Right.
The 49ers are built for that. Cold weather, warm weather, that defense is coming.
Right.
And all they need is Jimmy Garoppolo get the ball to Deebo Samuels and make the one throw that we need you to make. And we're going to take this home.
You know what? And here's the thing, Pat, because, you and me have been on that defensive kick and we've gotten killed for it. Let me tell you, Joe Shane is a forward thinker. Okay, he's looking at how to beat these high-powered offenses. He knows that there's now like 13 teams in the AFC that have a high-powered offense. Okay, how do you beat a high-powered offense? You change the game. You create something in your franchise that changes that game. So everyone now has to copy you and the team at the top of the heap. Okay, so don't. And here's the biggest issue. You and me are going to love this. Because we were talking about this the other day. Because if that draft somehow gets funky and a couple of quarterbacks go in the top 4, there's going to be some premier defensive talent there. So if we get Thibodeau and we get another edge rusher, whoever it may be, okay, everyone's like, well, yeah, you fix the defense, but you got the offense fixed. Or offense still needs to be fixed. Well, the defense is going to get tired. No, the defense is not going to get tired. Because you got 2 stud edge rushers right now, Thibodeau and whoever, and then you got Roche and Ojulari. They can come in whenever. You got Dexter Lawrence, Leo Williams. We just signed the other guy. They can all rotate. All right, so you're going to have fresh defensive players out there every freaking play, every series, every down. These guys are going to be able to come in and take a break, just like we did in 07. You guys aren't thinking about that. But if we do go to defensive players, these fans are going to riot like there is no tomorrow. And
Right.
they're going to be calling for Shane's head. They love him now, but if that happens, all these people that hate Daniel Jones are going to be like, oh my God, you know.
Why you think those defenses with the Ravens with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and those boys get so much respect? They won 2 championships. Well, Ed Reed won 1, Ray Lewis won 2.
Right.
During that team when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were running roughshod through the AFC, it was always between them and maybe the Chargers at one point. Why do you think Peyton Manning and Tom Brady have so much respect for Ray Lewis?
Right.
Everybody on this panel, well, me and you, but everybody that will be in the chat, you guys know that those Ravens offenses was nothing compared to what the Patriots and the Colts could do on offense.
Right. Let's go back to the 85 Bears. Look what that defense did for Jim McMahon, who sucked. He sucked in Philly. He wasn't very good in Chicago. He wasn't very good anywhere he went after that. But that defense,
everybody, he was trash.
Yep, that defense, boy, that 85 defense is what took them to the Super Bowl and won it.
And why you think that Ray Lewis and them was able to just keep coming at them the whole time? For one, Ray Lewis was a film watcher to a T. Him and Ed Reed.
Yes.
They knew things that were coming before they even came.
Yes.
So that helped them out a whole lot. But why do you think they was able to come in there and do that? They had fresh people coming in every single drive. There was only 2 people out there like that.
Right.
And that was Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. But that front 7, fresh people coming in every single time.
Yes. Yes.
And then no matter how long you put the Ravens on the field, it was like, damn, these dudes just don't get tired. They don't get tired.
And I'm sorry, but that Ravens offense, it stunk. But why did they score points? Because that Ravens defense would get a turnover on the opponent's 20-yard line.
Right.
And now they only got 20 yards to go to score a field goal. How many games did the Ravens win by 3 points? They won a lot of games.
I sat there as a young man watching that Ravens game when they had Ray Rice and they beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
And the only thing they could do was run the ball and play defense the whole time. And that was one of the most frustrating games for Tom Brady in his career.
Right.
Admitted it. Like, man, these dudes are not stopping. Why? Because they kept interchanging players. They kept bringing players in and they were fresh.
Right.
And everybody was on one accord on that defense because of the leadership of Ray Lewis. Everybody knew what to do. So if you got fresh people coming in every time and they know exactly what to do, it's like playing a brand new team every time you go out there each drive.
Right.
That's what we didn't have. You know how much depth those Ravens defenses had? They had depth. But if we say, hey, look, if you can build a defense that can stop people, what's the thing? What's the main thing you're trying to do when you play the game? You're trying to stop the other team from scoring.
And what depth did we have on the Giants if the starter went out?
Shit, half the starters weren't even great.
Right. Yeah. There was 19 guys that were on this team last year that are free agents, and they're still free agents. And some of them were starters.
So we had 19 guys on this team. Half of them were starters that nobody wants.
Right.
That tells you how bad that offensive line was.
But
the only one that got signed was
can't
Hernandez.
lift the team. Okay.
The only one that got signed was a 1-year prove-it deal, Hernandez, and I don't even know how much that was.
Well, Ingram got a 1-year deal. Hernandez got the 1-year.
I'm talking about on the offensive line.
Oh, yeah, the offensive line. Yeah. Hernandez is the only one.
Nobody gets signed except for Hernandez, and that's because he was a former second-round pick. And, hey, we'll get him as a filler. He's a former second-round pick. We can get him as a backup.
Right. 1 year. Let's see what you got.
We tell you that Nate Solder was probably the worst tackle in the league, and it's proven it. Nobody signed him, right?
Right.
He's one of the former highest-paid left tackles in the league coming off his last year of his contract. Why ain't nobody signed him to be even a backup? These guys are not even being signed to be backups. They're not even being signed to be camp bodies.
Right.
That's what that kid was out there working with. Starting.
Camp bodies. Camp bodies. You don't want to see that. You want to use it. You want to say it was an excuse. But anybody else gets a pass. Okay, we bring up point after point after point, and then it's like, well, people, well, he sucks, he fumbles. Now, then they turn right to it's an excuse. Give me some facts. Don't just say it's an excuse or he sucks. Anybody could say he sucks. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, the fact is he turns over the ball. When I tell you the past 2 years, he's pretty much cleaned that up,
Right.
He hasn't thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, and he's cleared up the fumbling a whole lot. Well, that's an excuse. What?
Right. Well, what has he done? Well, you know what? What could he do? What could anybody do?
I know he's one throw away from having a playoff berth.
Right.
If Ingram catches that ball, we're in the playoffs. As sorry as we were, we would have been 7-9, but we would have been in the playoffs. No, that's an excuse. We suck. Okay, well, the Washington football team at the time made it in there, and Tyler Heineke played a great game against Tampa Bay and almost pulled it out. When you get in the playoffs, it doesn't matter about record anymore.
Oh, my God. The Bengals took Chase, Jamar Chase. Why didn't they take Sewell? Oh, my God, they're going to suck. Oh, my God. This, all the fans, everybody in the NFL fans was like, oh, my God, the Bengals are done. They're going to get Burrow killed. They would go to the Super Bowl. Well, he almost got killed. Well, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. You know what? Right. He played the game.
And guess what? A lot of people don't want to admit this either. Oh, you need to get with the times, Pat and Joe. It's not about defense. It's about all. Guess what? That defense got them into the Super Bowl, people.
Yes.
Because they didn't play a great game against the Tennessee Titans. You know what helped them? That defense getting 3 pickoffs against Tannehill. Causing them to win. They only won that game by 3 points, folks.
Right.
And what did they have? 4 turnovers in that game?
Yep.
They only won by 3 points.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't move the ball in the second half. Really?
Right.
You're telling me that's offensive driven?
They had to blank the offensive Chiefs.
That's the new day.
In the second half. Held them to a field goal the whole second half, and it still went to overtime.
That's the new football. All offense. 30, 40 points a game.
So Joe Burrow is all-world quarterback, and Joe Burrow is good. Don't get it twisted. But why they have to almost blank the Chiefs the whole second half just to get the game in overtime?
Jimmy Garoppolo's not that great, but that 49ers defense shut down Green Bay.
Twice. Because the first game, Jimmy Garoppolo only had to throw, 4 passes?
Right. Right.
That AFC championship
Jimmy
game.
Garoppolo sucks. He's trash, but he beat Aaron Rodgers. He beat
twice.
Yeah, so that defense, y'all say it was other players. Well, you know what? It was Deebo Samuel. No, it wasn't. It was the defense. Who stopped Green Bay from scoring? Deebo Samuel didn't stop them from scoring.
Right. What? Who stopped Green Bay? Who stopped them from? They only got 10 points that game. They lost 13-10.
Right.
Who stopped Aaron Rodgers and them from scoring?
And then y'all say, well, Jimmy Garoppolo wrote that defense, but Daniel Jones or whoever writes the defense, they get tired. Same scenario. All good quarterbacks write a defense.
Why do you think Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco have Super Bowl rings? Was it because of them? Or was it because that defense was just absolutely amazing over there with the Ravens?
Right. How about that defense for Tampa Bay when they won their last ring?
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes again.
Right.
Whooped that ass out there.
He did.
Whooped that ass.
Well, he had all second stringers on his offensive line. Well, that's an excuse.
If we say Daniel Jones can't shine with a bad offensive line, that's an excuse.
Right.
But
You
if
gotta
you
have it one
say,
way or another, man.
yeah, but if you say Patrick Mahomes got his ass toe up in that Super Bowl, oh, he didn't have his offensive line. Well, what the hell did we just say?
Right. You know, we had third and fourth stringers out there on the offensive line.
Oh,
We
I
had
get it. I get it.
You got
Daniel
it?
Jones can't make throws like this and throw it across his body. And so he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt because
Got
he's
it.
not super exciting. I got it.
Got
If
it.
Daniel Jones was able to run around a circle 3 times and throw the ball across his body and make a good play every once in a while, he'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
He's exciting.
He does throw a good ball, but the problem is nobody catches the damn thing except unless they tip it up in the air and it gets picked off, and then it's like, oh my God, DJ threw another interception. Oh, that's all on him.
Do
Went
you
off the
know?
guy's hands, but it's on. Yeah. Oh my God.
Do you know the league killed him for throwing an interception on a Hail Mary
I know they
before
did.
halftime?
I know they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go, Daniel Jones with
Yep.
another turnover. What the hell? It's
Right.
before halftime.
Brett Favre can do it. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers can do it. Don't matter. Russell Wilson can do it. That don't.
Like I don't get the logic with that, man. And then you try to say that we're all in on Daniel Jones, and we're sitting here telling you about the quarterbacks that are coming out the very next year. And I'm sitting here on record and say, if there was a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow or one of those franchise quarterbacks coming out that you know is that dude, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I would take him in a heartbeat.
But ain't nobody at the end of the season, the NFL season, was talking about taking Malik Willis or Pickett or Ritter or any of them. Nobody wanted nothing to do with any of the quarterbacks coming out this year. And you all saw what they gave up for Russell Wilson. And you saw what they gave up for Deshaun Watson.
Carson Wentz.
Would you give up all of that capital right now with as bad as this team is, with nobody on it, just for one guy who's going to get the dog snot beat out of him? You're forgetting.
Yeah, they would.
You're forgetting. You know, if you guys wanted that, we lost those 2 first draft picks this year. And we lost the first rounder next year. Yeah. Those are gone. And you can't say, well, no, I wouldn't give up a first. Well, you know what? You might have to next year. Well, that 5 and 7 is really high. It don't matter.
Right.
It don't matter. Okay. Like when you go buy a car. It needs tires. Man, you get by 6 months on those tires. Don't give me that. Well, you got to knock the price down. No, I don't. You can walk away. Guess what? You ain't going to give me my price for Deshaun Watson? Walk away.
Yeah.
It ain't about how you're working the deal. It's about how they're working the deal. What do they want? What do you have to give up to them? Not what you're willing to give up and you're going to take it. Christ, if it was that easy, Monday when I was talking to the car dealership, I would have given them $1 for the freaking car and walked away. Brand new car. But it don't work that way. But yet you all think it does.
Just with the logic, you could have traded Daniel Jones and got a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Well, Sam Darnold got a 2 and a 4. Well, you know what? Look how that worked out. What team wants to repeat that? Do you want your team to repeat that? Do you want, if you were a fan of another team, would you give up a 2 and a 4 for DJ? Oh, hell no. Yeah, well, you want somebody else to do it, but you ain't going to give it up. Give me a break. If you ain't willing to give up, do you think anybody else is willing to give up? With everything that you're saying? Stop. Just stop.
You say that he has a hurt neck, he's ass, he can't read the pocket, he can't scan the field, he's not a leader of men, he can't throw accurately, he turns the ball over too much, etc., etc., etc. But we can get a 3rd or a 2nd round pick for him. What logic is that? What logic is that?
Wentz couldn't get a 2nd round pick. It was 2 thirds.
Oh, Pat Joe, you guys make all these excuses for Daniel Jones, but you want to get rid of Saquon Barkley.
I never said I wanted to.
Said I wanted to.
Right.
I said if they did, I would understand it because he has the most value.
For the
Duh.
right offer. Man, look, somebody offers me a 1 for DJ. Man,
Yeah.
I what other quarter? I mean, you got Tyrod Taylor, but I don't trust him.
No
He does
matter if
know
I
the
trust him
system.
or not. If you offer me a number 1 pick for Daniel Jones,
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
Probably, I would probably have to take it right now.
And I would trade one of those first round picks for a first round pick next year, like the Eagles did.
But now that's just it. I think if I was going to get a first round for DJ, I'd want it next year.
Yep, me too.
I wouldn't take it this year. I'd take it next year.
I would take it next year. So
Yeah,
I have 2 first round picks
that would
the next
set
2
it up.
drafts.
That would set it up.
I do
Yes.
it in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Because this year,
Yes.
we're not going anywhere this year. Tyrod Taylor, go out there and do what you do.
Right. Right.
We're drafting a quarterback next year.
I
Do
could
what you do the next year, let him sit on the bench, and then you know what's going to happen.
I mean, I could see that. Because that fits into what Shane did in Buffalo. They got a quarterback
The
the second year.
exact same thing.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
The exact same thing they're doing here.
Right.
Except Daniel Jones happens to be a talented guy, and they may want to see what he got, but he's a bridge quarterback.
Oh, my
I
God.
continued to say it this whole offseason. Me and Joe are on record saying, oh, Daniel Jones is gone.
Right.
When they fired the judge,
Yep.
I was like, well, Daniel Jones is gone.
A lot of guys are gone. I said there's nobody safe except Andrew Thomas. He's the only safe guy on this team the minute that happened.
So that proves how much of a love affair that we have for Daniel Jones. I like the kid, I do, but there's no love affair there. I was me and Joe, one of the first 2 people that said Daniel Jones was gone.
Right.
Because nobody had no alliances to him. Nobody has any alliance to him. Same thing I said about Saquon Barkley. Nobody has an alliance to him. You gonna pay Saquon Barkley after coming off 3 injury-riddled seasons, after having 1 decent year? I doubt it.
And then what happens if what happens this year if Barkley gets hurt week 3, week 4, and he's out for another 6 weeks? What are you all going to say then when we could have gotten a second round pick for him right now?
You should have traded him in the
offseason. Okay, great. Now I got hindsight. Yeah, you can say you. No, you can't because we got your comments. You can't.
I can say that because I said it before. I was like,
right.
Hey, if you can get good value for the dude,
right,
you better take it now because you're not going to get it in the next offseason, and you're not going to get it in the season if he gets hurt.
Right.
Because if he gets hurt, they'll be like, yep, he's done. I'm not giving you anything for him. Shit, you might have to pay me to take him. Yes.
Right.
And you're exactly right, Joe. That's exactly what they're going to say. You should have traded him during the offseason.
Right. I can see it now.
Now he's on the team and he's always hurt. He's a mascot.
Yeah.
But when I say that we may be able to trade him to get some value, if you're going to do it, you need to do it now because you're not going to pay him this upcoming season and you're not going to franchise him. I wouldn't franchise him. You might as well get what you can get now. If somebody's willing to give you a second round pick, I said, shit, you better take it. Oh, I'm bashing Saquon Barkley, but you were just calling him a mascot in the season.
What does everyone think of Dalvin Cook being at Giants Stadium here yesterday? Okay. What's everyone's, why are they bringing in Dalvin Cook? Well, that means Barkley's not going to be here.
Well, James Cook is
James Cook. Yeah, I'm sorry.
They're preparing.
Yeah.
They're preparing.
They're looking.
Why do you think they were talking to CJ Stroud?
Yep.
They're preparing.
Right.
They
Get ready.
Look, these guys are on their last leg. If they don't do anything this season, kid, we might be coming to get you.
Right. So now that's going to piss off most of the fan base because they're getting rid of their favorite player.
Yeah, Mr. Excitement.
Right.
It's
so
like
the minute that happens, DJ's going to get more heat.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of Barkley. Get rid of Daniel Jones. He sucks. Yep. Stop.
Right. What does Saquon Barkley have to do with Daniel Jones? You guys talked about Daniel Jones so bad, shit. You helped his stock go down.
Yep. Go talk to another fan of another team.
Like yeah.
Go talk to an Atlanta Falcons fan. Say, hey, would you want Daniel Jones? Hell to the no.
You don't even like him. Why would
Right.
we like him?
Right.
If your own fan base doesn't even like him, why should we?
Right.
No.
Right. All the Twitter hate, all the expletives, all the, other people read it. I read it on their fan bases.
And the
I
crazy
know.
part about it is, Joe, it's actually people out there that said they will actually trade Daniel Jones for Baker Mayfield.
I know.
So you mean to tell me that you think Baker Mayfield is better than Daniel Jones? A man that had everything over there in Cleveland.
Landry, Beckham. Yeah.
One of the
great
best
punt,
offensive lines.
Chubb.
The
Great
best
defense.
run game. 2 good tight ends. 4 good receivers.
Njoku.
Been in the same system for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me that you would rather have him that couldn't succeed in that over here?
Right.
Are you serious?
How can you hate somebody that much? I don't get it.
You guys make it seem like it's all Daniel Jones' fault, the reason why this team is bad. And that's the furthest from the truth. He might be the only bright spot, one of the only bright spots. Look how bad it got when that kid went out. Look how bad it got. When Daniel Jones went out, you saw back-to-back quarterback sneaks. The plays that you say is just the most atrocious thing you ever seen. Do you think we would have did back-to-back quarterback sneaks if Daniel Jones was on the field?
No, I think we would have completed that first pass out there to this wide receiver that was running the route. That would have completed and got us an extra 4 yards where we would have had a little bit of room. Fromm couldn't even get the ball, or Glennon, whoever the hell threw that damn ball.
Fromm
couldn't even get it there. How many times did Glennon almost get Barkley killed because he threw a fastball because he's like, oh, I'm getting hit. Holy crap. Yeah. Barkley's like, I don't want that shit. Looking at him like, I'm going to beat you. Man. We all watched it.
I'm literally on stream. Go watch that game. I'm literally on stream saying, I know why he did the 2 quarterback sneaks. Because he was scared Fromm was going to throw a pick 6.
And what he did the next
sure
play.
As shit, the very next play or the next drive, pick 6. I know why he did it.
Yeah, that was DJ's fault because he was on the sideline. That's what that problem was. They should have sent him to the locker room.
If I could tell it and I'm watching the game on TV, how do you think they were going on the field? Like, holy crap, this dude.
And how many of you fans were amped up for Fromm because of that one drive? Come on, let's be truthful here. You want to talk about booty cheeks? We were live telling you guys Fromm is not ready. I don't care. He's a pro. Dude, he's a 5th round draft pick. It's his first year, and he just transferred from another system. But you guys expect him to learn all that freaking playbook in week 1. I don't care, man. I don't care. Well, you guys killed his career. He's done. He's going to be the bag boy at Shop and Stop, okay? Because of everything that the kid's traumatized.
Did we not say that? We said if you put that kid in there,
you're going to kill him.
You're going to kill his confidence and his career is
going to be over. But I don't care, man. I don't care. Look, he moved the ball. It was Dallas. It was 80 yards. He did the same amount of yards as Glennon did. Dude, he was against a prevent defense in the fight. Don't matter, man. We got the talent, the professionalism. Man, people wanted the freaking bag boy from the goddamn grocery store to come and start the next week. Hey, I'm recording here. Yeah, you hush. Good dog.
Everything that we said it came true.
Admit right now, how many of y'all that hate Daniel Jones wanted Dwayne Haskins as the quarterback at 6?
Right. He threw 50 touchdowns.
Admit
I looked at that kid. I was like, that dude ain't it, man.
Admit it.
Dude ain't it.
Oh, well, I was wrong on that, but I'm not wrong on this. How do you know? How do you know you're not wrong on this? What if you're wrong twice?
Right. You can be
I
wrong
sit right here and
twice.
admit that I'm wrong.
Every time.
All the time. I spoke up for Dave Gettleman, but he screwed the pooch, and you know what? I was wrong about him.
I
I
spoke
say
up
here and
for
admit
Joe
this all the
Judge.
time.
I spoke up for Joe Judge, but when the reports was coming out, I was like, okay, I see what
Right.
happened.
He's the coach.
Maybe it wasn't a good culture being built. I ate my crow, and
Right.
I'm moving forward.
Right.
That's what you do as a grown man. You can admit to your wrongs at times. You can. At times, you should admit to your wrongs all the time.
Right. But when you don't have all the information and you only have a little bit, we didn't know all the turmoil that was going on. We didn't find out that, you know, the coaching staff was throwing punches in the locker room, you know, until the final game of the season. You know, we didn't realize all of this was going on until news broke and Mara went up there in his press conference and took his beating like he got taken to the woodshed.
Which we broke down.
Right. Look, this is what it is. We're not a competing team this year for the Super Bowl. We're not a contending team for the playoffs. We might be a contending team for our division. Might. There's too much that has to happen.
Right.
There's too much newness here. So with you all wanting to go out and get a quarterback and just start everything, it's not the time to get a quarterback. The Buffalo Bills set up their team almost identically. They took the first year, got rid of the cap, got rid of some of the players, drafted well the first year, created a team, got an identity, worked with a playbook, got some schemes developed. The second year, now we bring in the quarterback. Now we have some cap money. Now I can get some linemen. Now I can get some playmakers. Now I can get more draft capital. Now I can start developing and get this team going forward the way I want it to go forward instead of trying to do everything at once the first year. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. You want a contending team for the next 10 years? Do it right. Think about it.
Right. And you want to know what's crazy? As bad as they bashed Daniel Jones, that kid had better stats than Josh Allen his first 2 years in the league. And he was in a way worse situation than what Josh Allen was in. Josh Allen wasn't in a horrendous situation like Daniel Jones was in. Josh Allen had at least going towards a foundation his first 2 years.
Right.
Josh Allen, I continue to say this, did not throw for a 300-yard game or a 4-touchdown game in his first 2 years.
Right.
Didn't have one. And the Buffalo Bills were saying he was ass.
Yep.
The league was saying that he was ass at one point. But when that system finally clicked for him and they put the weapons around him and that system was built, he shot through the roof.
Got a couple pieces. Stephon Diggs just got a huge contract.
Right. Just got a huge extension. Very well deserved. That hasn't happened for DJ. In his third year, he was playing under Joe Judge and Jason Garrett.
Dabo was a hot coach this year. We got him. Kafka was a hot OC. We got him. Wink
Let's
Martindale.
see what the kid can do.
Right.
No, you're just wasting another year. No, you're not.
Yeah, you're building your team. You can't be wasting a year. You're putting in a foundation.
Right.
Do you go, what do you do? When you build a house, you put up the basement. What do you do? Put in the shower stall, your fancy bathtub, marble and all that crap, or do you put a floor down?
It's not going to be a waste of year because if the dude sucks, you were going to get rid of him anyway.
But it lets you put in your scheme and see what you have.
And then what if we have a top pick next year then where we don't have to trade up to get a quarterback?
Right. Then you
actually helped you out in the end.
Yes. Right. Get your quarterback first round, get him a weapon in the second round. Get some linemen in the third and fourth.
But here's a great idea. What if the dude turns out to be good?
Yeah, heaven forbid. Oh, that can't happen. Oh my God, I'll eat my socks.
What if he turns into where we do go? Like Lou always says, 11-6 and win a playoff game.
Right.
Oh, are you going to bash him for losing in the NFC divisional round with a team that nobody expected to even be in the playoffs? Oh, he
Oh,
lost to Tom Brady in the divisional round.
it's going to
You
happen.
suck.
That's going to happen, Pat, because remember how I said Jimmy G and he kept winning in the playoffs? People would come in and say, oh, he's going to lose this game, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He's going to lose this game, and he didn't. He's going to lose this game. They were waiting for Jimmy Garoppolo to lose so they could come at me, and it took the NFC divisional game before anybody could come at me and say,
The
I told you
NFC
he'd lose.
championship game. It was
Right.
the championship game.
I told you he'd lose.
And then they were worried the whole game. They couldn't say anything until a minute left in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And Jimmy G almost got him into the Super Bowl.
Right. But that's going to happen.
But that exact moment, I can't stand that, bro.
Right. I me either. And they were
That
chomping at the bit for that.
You said that dude wasn't even going to make it into the playoffs. You said he wasn't even going to have a winning record. And now you're going to wait to bash him after he loses the NFC championship game?
Right.
You can't be mad enough to be like, you know what, man, that dude proved me wrong. that clown almost made it into the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's the way I took it. I was like, holy crap, this dude almost made it to the Super Bowl again.
Right.
Jimmy freaking G. I was actually proud of him. Because he's taking a lot of crap too.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, do I think he's a great quarterback now? No. That's the thing.
No, but you know what? He's good enough where he's going to get your team an opportunity to win a game.
For some reason.
Isn't
This
that
dude
what you want?
wins games for some reason. I don't understand it.
If the guy can win a damn football game for me, bring him over. But no, we can't look at it that way. You want to be on ESPN highlights. You want to sit here, watch ESPN, and say, yep, that's my quarterback right there. He threw 4 picks, but, he threw that 80-yard touchdown off his back foot. That was phenomenal. We lost by 36 points, but, man, what a throw. What a throw. You guys get – yeah. God, man, I'm telling you, the crack's got to be getting cheaper or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns and 300 yards against the Lions and made some incredible plays. We beat the Lions, but when we played the Packers, he threw for 1 good pass, and we got our ass with 40-8.
Right.
But, hey, that's our quarterback. He's exciting.
Yep.
That's crazy.
ESPN's going to talk about him, man. Great experience.
That's crazy to me.
We're almost at 1:10, Pat. I'm not sure how long you wanted to run this.
But we're gonna wrap it up here soon. But the main question I really wanted to get to the chat is, Daniel Jones wasn't the answer these past 3 years. Okay, true.
Right.
But what type of quarterback could have been the answer? Nobody. Every time I ask that question, nobody tells me. What type of quarterback would have been the answer here with the same situation, same exact situation? He played good his rookie year. Pat Shermer got him to play good in the system. You got it stripped from you your second year. They bring in Jason Garrett, whose system is absolutely ass. Me and Joe were knowing the plays were coming before they came. And we're watching it on TV. So imagine what the coaches and them on the field know.
Oh.
You got the worst offensive line in the league for the last 2 years. And that's fact. You're the most injured team in the league the past 2 years. That's
since
fact.
2009. I saw a new report. Since 2009, we're the most injured team.
And that's a fact. So you're out there. You don't have your running back. You don't have your top running back. You don't have a tight end to think of that's consistent. You lose your first, second, and third receiver and fourth.
Starting center.
Actually, you lost Slayton. You lost Slayton, Galladay, Tony, Ross. Slayton, Galladay, Tony, Ross, and Shepard.
Yep.
And Riggs.
5.
at one point during the season. You were throwing the Pettis, Cooper Farrow.
Cunningham. What the hell is that tall dude there?
Oh, Colin Johnson, and he got hurt.
Yeah, Johnson.
Colin Johnson even got hurt.
Yep. So there goes six wide receivers.
You got the most ass coach in the league that everybody says that doesn't know what he's doing. You got the most ass GM in the league because he's too old. He's past his prime. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Halfway through the season, you wanted to fire the defensive coordinator.
Right.
Let's not forget that, folks.
Your defense was giving up the most points before halftime. Your offensive coordinator is the most ass in the league. So you got the worst coordinator, the worst coach. Your defense was the worst at giving up points before halftime. You got the worst offensive line. Your running back is hurt. Was supposed to be the best on the team, but he's not available. You lose your first, second, third, and fourth receiver. Your tight end can't catch. He's inconsistent. He's inconsistent in route running. Rudolph is a shell of himself. Caden Smith was hurt.
Martinez was gone.
Yeah. Martinez is going on. Well, I'm just talking about the offensive side.
Right. By my captains, like leaders.
Yeah. Martinez is gone. You got Mr. Irrelevant starting that middle linebacker. You got 19 players on this roster that can't even get a contract.
Right. Right.
On top of that, everybody knows your plays because you run the same exact shit every time. The couple of times that you didn't run the same exact thing, they blew up.
But Pat, that's all an excuse, man. It's all an excuse according to these people.
How is that an excuse?
I don't know.
When the same things that's coming out my mouth came out their mouths.
You know, if they talk about other teams, those are logical points. But when you're Giants and it's Daniel Jones, you're not allowed to use that. You know, it's like when UNC played Kansas in the final game. Everyone said, well, UNC had too many injuries to prevail to beat Kansas. Oh, we can use an injury excuse then, but we can't use an injury excuse for the Giants. Okay, I got you. I see how this game works.
Do you understand all the stuff that I just said? And that was just on the offensive side of the ball.
I know. Yes.
So please tell me, what quarterback do you know is going to come in here and ball out under those circumstances?
Same playbook.
Same playbook, same coach, same coordinator, same offensive line, same receivers, same running back, same GM, same owner.
Yep. Same scenario. Don't say it would be different because it wouldn't be different. That's what they were running.
Patrick Mahomes might not even be Patrick Mahomes if he was drafted here.
He might be in the hospital is what Patrick Mahomes might be.
Patrick Mahomes might be looking for another team right now.
Right.
Justin Herbert would be going into his second year. They like, man, this is bad.
Right.
Joe Burrow got hurt over there with the Bengals when that line was bad. What do you think would have happened to him here? And there's no Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, or T. Higgins, or Uzma, or Mixon over here to help you out.
Right.
We're healthy the whole year. There's no, what's their coach name? That's a very good offensive coach over there.
Oh, yeah.
He's not here. He's working with Joe Judge.
But then they would be talking about all the drops and everything that the receivers were doing if it was Burrow or Mahomes here. That would be the key. Well, we had 30 drop passes last year. It can't be, but
if you say that for Daniel Jones, that's an excuse.
Right.
So what are you supposed to do? Throw the ball and run underneath it and catch it too? Oh, right. But he showed you that he can catch. He can actually catch it with one hand.
That was fourth down. He went out and got that ball. He was making sure he was going to catch it.
I want a guy like that on my team.
Me too.
That will put his body on the line.
Yes. Just go say that.
He did it against the Cowboys. It turned against him because his freaking tight end, Mikhail Rudolph, just looked at him.
Right.
Didn't try to help block and didn't even go in the back of the end zone the way he tossed it to him.
Where are you going? Clown.
This is the same guy that ran over the second best defensive tackle in this league and graded Jarrett against the Falcons. Ran him over to get a 2-point conversion to put us up.
Right.
And the defense allow Atlanta to
And
go right back down the field and
y'all
score.
cheered when he did that. I remember that game. Everybody cheered.
But you kill the kid and say that everything that we saying, which are facts, who's the excuse? Who's the excuse? That's not excuses, people.
I think
that
it's fear.
happened.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's fear that they're afraid he might succeed. I do. I think it's fear.
How can you sit there and call yourself Giants fans if you don't even want your quarterback to succeed? That's crazy to me. All we're saying is we just want to see if this kid can succeed. Oh, how many years you gonna give the guy? Well, God dog. I want him to have at least one good year of a decent system around him. When the one good year he did have a decent system, he threw 24 touchdowns.
Right. But he fumbled.
It don't matter.
Did Lamar.
Peyton Manning had the most turnovers as a rookie. Look how he turned out. With consistency and good players around him. 2 Hall of Fame receivers. A Hall of Fame tight end. A Hall of Fame running back that was on this team. Don't believe me? Look it up. Edgerrin James should be in the Hall of Fame. Dallas Clark is getting into the Hall of Fame. Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, Hall of Fame.
Fame.
What Hall of Fame players around Daniel Jones?
I get it.
What half decent player was around Daniel Jones last year?
I was trying to figure out how I wanted to word it. Yeah, what average to above average player was around DJ? Healthy.
Briggs, you say he's hurt too much. He can ball, but he's hurt too much. True. Kadarius Toney, you saying that he's a clown and he doesn't even want to play football.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay is overpaid and he quit during the season. Evan Ingram, one of the worst first-round tight ends to be drafted, can't catch. Kyle Rudolph, a shell of himself, washed. Saquon Barkley, ultra talented, but he's hurt too much. He's never on the field. These are the players that you guys are talking about that are around this kid. Oh, and to put on top of it, no offensive line. And the 2 offensive linemen that you did have got hurt. Worst offensive coordinator in the league. Everybody wanted Garrett fired. A special teams coach that's a head coach. A GM that's incompetent. An owner that should sell the team. These are all the things that have came out you guys' mouths. But you want this kid to succeed. How?
Right. I don't.
How? Everywhere he turns, it's like, damn. How fair is that? What if you were in that situation? You put yourself in Daniel Jones' shoes. I bet you 99.9% of you guys won't even make it a day. A day. You're getting killed by the media. You're getting killed by your own fans. You're getting killed by your offensive line. Your receivers leave you hanging because they're hurt all the time. Your running back that you're supposed to depend on every year is gone every freaking year. Your head coach is fighting with the other coaches. Your offensive line coach checked out. You got the worst offensive coordinator in the league. Your GM can't draft. Kevin Abrams can't do contracts right. They bring a number 1 receiver for you, but guess what? He quit. That's what you said. You want to get rid of him. You wanted to fire Patrick Graham in the beginning of the season because he was giving up so many points at halftime. Bend but don't break.
A lot of these guys would have had if they have to do that for one day, they'd be looking like Ryan Leaf did at the end of his career.
Right. Why do you
blowing
think
up at
Ryan
reporters,
Leaf
calling
broke?
him a mother humper, whatever, and wanting to fist fight him. And yeah,
Ryan Leaf didn't have half the character Daniel Jones had. That's why he broke
right.
over there in San Diego. He broke.
Seattle.
No, he played in San Diego.
Was he
He got
saying?
drafted by
Yeah.
the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
The kid broke.
Yep. Couldn't take it no more.
What amount of character this kid has to be the first one in the building in a snowstorm,
To meet the new head coach.
working out? What reason does he have to go there? Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. You're not doing anything to protect me here. Every time I turn on the TV, I'm the 32 ranked quarterback in the league every year.
Right.
Even though all this that's around me is not being taken into account. But when Patrick Mahomes for 5 weeks didn't have his offensive line together, the whole world was crying for him.
You know, not only that, a lot of these fans will say, well, this guy on NFL Network said this, or this guy on NFL Network said that. I said, how about what Bart Scott said on ESPN, damn it?
Mom.
Right. Why don't you guys regurgitate some of that?
It doesn't go to my point.
Right. That would mean I was wrong. He's giving excuses too, huh? Because he said the same damn thing we've been saying for months.
Right.
He said the same thing. So is he giving excuses? What's the deal?
Former Pro Bowl middle linebacker for the Ravens, a former Pro Bowl middle linebacker for the Jets.
Right.
I think he knows a little bit about the game.
Right.
So you can't take that away from him.
He said Daniel Jones could be like Josh Allen. Isn't that what he said?
Oh, but you agree with Tim Hasselbeck.
Right. Who got the coin flip, said, we want the ball, we're going to score.
No, that was his brother.
It don't matter. He's still a Hasselbeck.
Right.
They both are ass.
He's worse than his brother.
But
that should tell you something.
Let's listen to Dan Orlovsky, who runs out the back of the end zone for the
Yeah.
Detroit Lions. Yeah, okay.
I mean, he was so competent at quarterback. He definitely has the right to say that somebody's ass.
Right. He said he's been on an 0-6 team, an 0-14 team, an 0-16 team. Well, no wonder he was on those O teams. That's the only team he could play for.
But you'll take his word to heart, but you see?
Right.
No, I take both sides accountability. He
Right.
does have a right to say a little bit, because if anybody knows how to be ass, it's him.
Daniel Jones is not innocent. You know, he has
he's
made bad
not.
plays. He's made bad throws.
I
He tries
pointed
to
it out
do
in
too
my
much.
film reviews.
I know we have. But everyone thinks that we're thinking that. We're saying that. No. I don't know what we have to get through your mind to say that we're just going to build the team for the future. The quarterback of the future. Whether that is DJ, whether that is Stroud, whether that is Van Dyke, whether that is Young.
Shit, I wouldn't give a shit if it was Tyrod Taylor. I just
might
want a
be.
quarterback that get us some wins.
I do too. I want to win it. That's it.
I don't give a damn who's at the quarterback position. As long as he can get us some wins, I'm cool.
Man, if Daniel Jones, if we win the division or we get in the playoff race, you know, are these people that hate Daniel Jones, are you going to root for the Giants to win, or would you rather see DJ lose?
I'm going to be honest with you. Half of them will probably want DJ to lose so they can be like, ha, see? It doesn't matter that he threw 35 touchdowns in the regular season. He won us a playoff game. He lost in the divisional round. He's ass.
Right.
He threw 2 interceptions in the divisional round. He's ass.
Right.
That's exactly what they're going to do. And that's the exact stuff that just kills me, man.
I know. That's why this video's out.
It's terrible. That's terrible, man.
We go 11-6, have a good season, go into the playoffs. You know, we were in a playoff game finally, that we have a young rookie team that could use that playoff experience, win or lose. Win or lose. This Giants team could use that experience. This fan base could use that amperage, but people are still going to shoot it down because they're friggin' miserable. They're angry individuals.
This
it
team
has
sucks.
to be.
We could even win a playoff game. Well, we shouldn't even have been in the damn playoffs.
Right.
I'm just happy we made it.
A new
I'm just happy
GM,
we made it.
a new coach, new players, new staff. Man,
Man, we could go in that playoff game and lose 20-17. They'd be like, we are ass.
right,
I promise you they'll do it. It's not like we got blew out 51-0
right,
or get destroyed like how the Eagles got destroyed, which I told everybody what was going to happen because they didn't play anybody. And if that happens with the Giants this year, we make it to the playoffs because we didn't play anybody, but we get destroyed in the playoffs. We're like, we still got a long way to go.
right.
But you get in them playoffs and you play a damn good game and they beat you by a last second field goal because the defense just couldn't hold at the end of the game, that's different. That means you have a foundation. You have an identity. There's no identity to this team. None.
No direction.
How
No
the
direction.
hell are you supposed to succeed in a situation like that? All those other quarterbacks that you mentioned, at least the teams had identities and directions. You don't know what the hell the Giants were doing before Joe Shane and Daboll got here.
Look what Patrick Mahomes walked into compared to what DJ walked into. Let's
Patrick
not take
Mahomes walked into the perfect situation for him. And
Mac
guess
Jones.
what? The kid admitted he couldn't read defenses until his third year. So did Drew Brees. That kid was out there just with a talented team winging it. And they were
Right.
so talented, they were still winning.
Right.
So imagine if he didn't know how to read defenses with this roster. Not the Chiefs roster. Not
This.
the Chiefs Andy Reid.
Right.
Bieniemy, all those coaches. No, Spagnuolo, all those coaches over there. No, with this team and these coaches, what would he would have done? What would he would have done? And he didn't know how to read defenses until his third year. That kid would have got absolutely murdered. Because you know why? Because he loves to try to run around. And he would have got absolutely destroyed on this roster. And that's the stuff that people don't want to hear.
Right.
And I'm sorry, this video is almost 1 hour and 30 long. If you're still with us in the chat during this video, man, bless you. But, you know, there was a video, man, I just wanted to get out with my guy, Joe.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Lou is at work, so he won't be able to be on this one. But I'm definitely going to get him on the next Giants interactions. But it's just something that I wanted to talk about. I've been getting a lot of comments. And so I just wanted to answer your comments in a proper fashion.
Right.
You tell me Daniel Jones is ass and he's not it. He's not that. And I ask you the question. Can you answer it? What type of quarterback could have succeeded?
That's a fair question. It's not an excuse. It's a fair question. With the staff we had, the coaches.
You can't say the kid is not a leader. The kid's a leader. He's the first one in the building. They cheer for the kid every time he makes a play. His teammates do. Maybe you don't, but his teammates do. Look at the reaction Saquon Barkley had for him when he threw that touchdown to him in New Orleans.
Right. Right. And not only that, when Galladay was barking at Garrett, DJ said, "This is not the place." Guess what? Galladay listened to him.
Right.
Galladay turned around and said, "Okay, boss. Yep, I got you. You're my quarterback."
Why do you think Galladay was talking to him in a little workout pre-video? Why do you think Galladay was talking to him? If they felt that Daniel Jones wasn't it, nobody would be talking to that kid like that.
But Pat, you know, just to wrap this up real quick, I hate to bring up another subject, but it's like people just want to hate because everyone's coming to Kadarius Toney because he didn't show up at voluntary workout. Voluntary workout. He didn't show up.
Why can't you just wait until mandatory workouts and he doesn't show up? Then
Right. Bradbury didn't show up. How many guys did? I want you to all to name how many guys didn't show up. You only know of one. I said the second because nobody said Bradbury didn't show up. Bradbury ain't going to show up until it is mandatory. You know that one. What other guys didn't show up?
Nah, but you focus in on Kadarius Toney because he's the target.
Right.
That's something I could get to I need that energy. I hate him. I can't stand him.
Right.
You want to be a rapper. Your rap career sucks. You suck at rapping. You ain't got no bars. You should be there at any time, even though it's voluntary. If your job told you it was voluntary for you to come in, you didn't come in. Would you want somebody to say that about you? because you make it sound like it's not voluntary.
Right.
Hence the word voluntary. Show up if you want to. Hell, Dabo and Joe Shane didn't say anything about it, so why are you?
Right. Why are you concerned about it?
I know why, because it's the thing to do. It's the
Right.
man. Kadarius Toney is the new Odell Beckham. That's what you want. And that's the crazy thing about it. You want that negativity.
Right.
I don't want him to be the next Odell Beckham. Maybe to play like Odell Beckham, but not to be like
I want him
Odell
to be
Beckham.
the next Kadarius Toney. I don't even
Right.
want. I want him to be himself.
Right. I want him to be Kadarius Toney. I want to go out there and make plays.
Tired of comparing these people. They're not the same individuals. They're different names, different atmosphere, different players,
different souls.
Yes. Let Kadarius Toney be KT.
Let him be the Joker. That's what he's going to call himself. Let him be the Joker. Let him go out there and make jokes of everybody on the field by juking them out and making a touchdown.
Yeah, you all loved Odell Beckham when he came out with the Joker cleats.
Right.
Y'all loved it. He does it. You hate him.
What do you think what do you think a player would like more and go out there perform more with you supporting them or with you trashing them? What do you think makes them feel better to go out there and play on the field for your entertainment? You think they like getting bashed like that by you guys all the damn time?
Think they like losing?
Yeah, you think they like losing?
No. Think they're
you think
enjoying
they like
this?
That shit?
You think that they're laughing right now because Garrett screwed them out of getting a second contract? All these guys that aren't unsigned right now because of all the bad performance and play and the chaos that went on inside the locker room and the building? You think these guys are sitting back enjoying this? Really?
That shit's crazy. You think Galladay really enjoyed not getting one touchdown last year? You think Kadarius Toney enjoyed not getting one touchdown last year?
Right. You think Barkley's enjoyed his career up to this point? Just goes out and does what the coach tells him to do. The coach tells you what to do. You do what the coach tells you to do. If you don't, guess what? You're not going to play.
And then you get that label on you. You're not a coach's player. You're not able to be taught.
Or you do what the coach says and you get the label of you can't read a defense, that you can't read a, you know, you're a one-read quarterback, or you're not the ball, you know, you're not the 50-50 guy you used to be because they're using you differently. How many times do we see a guy that doesn't produce, goes to another team, he balls out because they're using him productively. They're not trying to fit him inside of a round peg in a square hole.
Right.
They got him lined up to where he goes as square hole, square peg.
And that's the reason why I bring that up with Daniel Jones, because
are they using him?
Daniel Jones looked like he had promise when he was with Patrick Sherman. He did.
Darius Slayton. You guys saw he was a number
one receiver. Thought that he could be a number one receiver.
Get out of
here. After that Patrick Sherman year. And then Garrett comes and he's the most ass receiver that we have. You know, I don't know why, because he's not being used correctly.
But he still played well enough to get his bonus. He still played well enough. He still played well enough to get his bonus, whatever was in that contract, Pat. But he's ass.
And Darius Slayton was balling with Daniel Jones this rookie year.
Yes, they had a connection. 9 touchdowns. Isn't that what?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. Almost double-digit touchdowns rookie year, rookie to rookie.
And then y'all were
complaining Toilolo wasn't out there, or whoever was the tight end that Daniel Jones was working really good with.
Caden Smith.
Yeah, he never played. Hurt his knee, but
when he was healthy, he wasn't playing anyway.
Right.
What motivates me to get healthy? You're never going to play me anyway. And then you don't even have a valid reason to not play me, because I had him Caden Smith and Slayton had a connection.
Right.
Their rookie years, they had a connection. Guess what? You stripped it from them their second year.
Right.
How many of those other quarterbacks have had 3 coaches and 4 offensive coordinators in their first 3 years?
And succeed. And
The
succeed.
Mahomes, the Watsons, all the other people that you bring up, the Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had a coach that built the system for him his rookie year.
Oh,
So did Lamar Jackson.
Who was the kid we were just talking about the other day? He was the #1 overall draft pick to the 49ers. Broke his leg.
2.
Number 2.
Oh, you say he broke his leg.
Yeah, broke his leg at Washington.
Oh, Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Look how bad he was his first 4 years. But then what happened?
Awful. But when Jim Harbaugh got there and brought a system that was in tune for him, and he doesn't get as much credit as he deserves for fixing with these quarterbacks.
Right.
Alex Smith turned into a freaking Pro Bowl and almost made the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for us,
right,
they would have made the Super Bowl.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
Was balling over there when Jim Harbaugh was the coach.
Yep.
But when he left, what happened to him?
Yep.
Having a system in place, folks, matters just as much as the player.
Yes, it does. Good point.
If you put Tom Brady with the Dolphins in the beginning of his career, I promise you, he wouldn't have one Super Bowl. I promise you, he wouldn't have one Super Bowl.
What year did Brady come into the league?
2000?
2000?
1999? I think it was 1999 or 2000. I think it was 1999 because he set his rookie year, and then Bledsoe was playing, then he got hurt, then he came in
by the Jets.
1999. Tom Brady was blessed to be put with Bill Belichick that knew how to use his talent.
Right. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the most athletic.
He damn sure wasn't the fastest. He damn sure wasn't the most athletic.
I mean,
You know what got that dude over the top in the beginning of his career? He just had that drive. And he wanted to win and prove people wrong so bad. And they had a system in place. Those defenses won those first couple of Super Bowls.
He did what Doug Flutie did. He just looked at the guy who's open, throw him the ball. Who's open, throw him the ball. Who's open, throw him the ball.
Those defenses, those
Super Bowl the Patriots? Yes.
Remember, they won their Super Bowls off straight field goals. They didn't blow anybody out in those Super Bowls. They won by a field goal, each one of them. Am I taking anything away from Tom Brady? No, he's the greatest of all time.
He did. He did what he was told.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Right. According to the scheme and the coaching staff, and then they worked around him. They didn't say, here's what we're going to do. They looked at him and said, what can he do?
What can he do? Man, this guy can really read the defense in the middle of the field, and he can make perfect passes in the middle of the field. Let's get him Wes Welker and get him 2 tight ends.
Right. Hernandez and Gronk. Hello. And then we all thought that New England was stupid for doing that. That was the dumbest move by the Patriots ever, according to ESPN and those so-called experts. What happened? Man, if Aaron Hernandez doesn't do what he did.
Could you imagine those teams with Hernandez, Welker, and then Edelman coming in behind them?
Right.
They didn't need an outside receiver. Why do you think they never paid an outside receiver? We know Tom Brady loves to work the middle of the field. He's going to get the outside receiver when you put those safeties in the middle of the field and try to stop Edelman, and they hit you over the top.
Right.
Yeah, he'll hit the outside receiver then on a deep post.
Do you guys even understand scheme? You know, you're always saying how the Giants are beat over the middle with a tight end. But we don't run plays like that.
Yeah, because we had no scheme. We had hitch routes, curl routes, stick routes.
It's disgusting.
But with Pat Shermer, he saw that Daniel Jones, man, he can really hit this post route.
Right.
If I roll Daniel Jones out, he can really hit this rock to the tight end on the sideline.
Or a slant or the 20-yard passes. Yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's really good at throwing this deep ball.
Right.
Hence,
And when he got drafted, we were all looking at his Duke film. He was throwing the ball excellent at Duke, but they couldn't catch the freaking ball.
Right.
And we're like, hey, this kid might have talent.
Do you know this kid has played with horrible rosters since Duke?
Right.
You can't name one player at Duke that he played with, but he won 2 bowl games.
Had winning records enough to get to a bowl game, to win a bowl game or 2. He wants to win.
Name one player that he played with at Duke. I can't even say Jamison Crowder because Crowder was out before he came to Duke. And Jamison Crowder played receiver at Duke. Other than that, who the hell was playing at Duke with him? Name one player.
And they gave Clemson a hard time.
Yeah, they did.
They gave Clemson a hard time. That was no pushover game, man. And that was Dexter Lawrence coming after DJ.
Clelin Ferrell.
Yep.
All those great Clemson players.
Yeah, Simmons. Wasn't Simmons out there?
Yeah, Simmons was out there.
Yeah.
Amari Rogers.
You can name that team, but you can't name the team that Duke almost beat Clemson with.
Right.
But he's trash. What has he done? How's that? You have the number 1 team in the freaking nation a fit with nothing.
He was the only people on that team was him and Cutcliffe.
We're bragging that we beat the Eagles last year, and what did Daniel Jones have? Nothing. Right. Still beat the Eagles. We can't talk about that. We beat the stinking freaking dirty birds. But we can't, How
many games did we win? When he got hurt.
Yeah. How many positive yardage games did we have when he got hurt?
We had a game with negative passing yards. Negative.
We had linemen that were grading out at a 6 the whole game. 30 for like a stretch of 4 games. But the Bengals line was worse. I'm still trying to figure that one out. How the hell can the Bengals be worse when we got old linemen grading a 6 in one game? A 6. Right. We got 3 offensive linemen that graded a 30 for 4 games. But the Bengals line was, I don't understand it. But yeah, we're off minute 45, Pat.
Man, hey, look. Man, this Giants interaction is going to be probably going to be called Giants We Need to Talk. Giants fans, we need to talk. I think I might name this one that one. I don't know.
Hey.
But I enjoyed this interactions, man.
Oh, me too.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Love the controversy.
Hopefully you can answer my question. I know Daniel Jones hasn't been the guy the past 3 years. That's a fact. But who could have been the guy?
Right.
Or what traits does the guy need in order to succeed the past 3 years here? I don't want to hear anything about other situations, everything, the same situation, this exact situation, how it played out.
Right.
Nobody's healthy. Everybody did the same exact thing. Same coaches, same coordinators, same GM, same everything. Right. You would literally have to build that quarterback in a lab. And he still probably won't get it done unless you build a quarterback that can run through a whole team and consistently do it.
Right.
But till the next time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for us. Please. Big Pat Sports Talk, Classified 3F with Joe. This has been Giants Interactions. Peace.
This
has been a Big Blue Crew production.